So first of all, we will discuss how to find the middle term of a binomial expansion. This a plus x whole to the power n is there. Okay. So what will be the middle term? Middle term of a plus x whole to the power n. So it depends on the value of n, whether n is even or n is odd. If n is odd, case 1. So let's take the first case as when n is odd. So what will be the number of terms then? Can you tell?
Sir, n plus 1.
N plus 1, and whether it will be either odd or even. If we add
Even.
to an odd number, it will be even. Is that clear to you? So if there are n plus 1, that is even number of terms, then there must be two middlemost terms. Look at this. If there are 6 terms, A, B, C, D, E, F. So first, last, second, second last. So there are two middlemost terms, C and D. That is third and fourth. Total number of terms is 6, and we are first dividing this 6 by 2 to get the third order, and then we are adding 1 to the 6 by 2 to get 4. So there will be two middlemost terms. One is obtained when we divide all number of terms by 2, and other when we add this quotient with 1. Is that clear to you? So what will be the middle term if n is odd? If n is odd, it means n plus 1 is even, and if n plus 1 is even, as number of terms is even, so there will be two middlemost terms. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Number of terms is n plus 1, that is even. As number of terms is even, so there will be two middlemost terms. And how will we find that? First one of them will be when we divide this n plus 1 by 2, there as we have divided 6 by 2. And next will be obtained when we add 1 to this sum. So how to find this Tn plus 1 by 2 and Tn plus 1 by 2 plus 1? We will use the formula of nth term only. For example, so let's make it clear by using an example. If there is x plus 3 whole to the power 7, x plus 3 whole to the power 7, it means what? That so if x plus 3 to the power 7 is there, means n equals to 7, which is odd. Now number of terms, what will be the number of terms? It is equal to 7,
Sir, 8.
that is 8. So there will be two middlemost terms. Two middlemost terms are T8 by 2 is T4 and T4 plus 1, that is T5. Now we know that formula in the expansion of x plus a whole to the power n TR plus 1 is given by NCR x to the power n minus r into a to the power r. So if we compare with this expansion in x plus 3 whole to the power 7, in place of x it is x, in place of a it is 3. Okay, so how will we find T4? T4 equals to, with this is the middlemost term, we will write T3 plus 1. Now n equals to 7, r equals to, in place of r there is 3, r equals to 3. When we have to find T4, we write it in the form of r plus 1, that is T3 plus 1. So n equals to 7, r equals to 3, and a equals to also 3. This one. And the formula is NCR x to the power n minus r into a to the power r, value of n is 7, c 3 into x. In place of x it is x only. In place of n 7, in place of r 3, 7 minus 3 into a, in place of a it is 3, so 3 cube. Now 7c3 means factorial 7 upon factorial 3 into factorial 4 into x to the power 4 into 3 cube. So now we will simplify this. So the first middlemost term, that is fourth term of this binomial expansion, is factorial 7 is expanded 7 into 6 into 5. This factorial 4 will be cancelled out upon factorial 3 is expanded as 3 into 2 into 1 into x to the power 4 into 3 cube. So this 6 and 6 will be cancelled out. It is 7 5s are 35 into 3 cube is 27 x to the power 4. So the product is 27 7 is 189 5 the 945. Okay. So it is 945 x to the power 4, which is the first answer. As we have earlier discussed that as n is even, so there will be two middlemost terms. First we have calculated T4. The next is T5. So let's now calculate the second middle term. The first middle term was T4. The second middle term is T5, that is T4 plus 1. So it is again NCR into x to the power n minus r into a to the power r. So 7c4, we know that NCR is always equal to NCn minus r. Is that clear to you? We have discussed in previous sessions that NCR equals to NCn minus r. So 7c3 will be equal to 7c4, and value of 7c4 we have calculated as 35 into x cube into 3 to the power 4 means 81. So we have to multiply with 3 more. This becomes 2a35 x cube, which is the answer. Any doubt? Is there any doubt? So case 2, in first case we have discussed when power is even, power is odd, n is odd, means by power of binomial is odd. So number of terms will be n plus 1, that is even. So there will be two middlemost term which we can obtain by first dividing the number of terms by 2 and then adding 1 to that result. Similarly, when there is odd power, in x plus a whole to the power n, in second case, if n is odd, if n is even, sorry, odd we have discussed in case 1, when n is odd. Now in case 2, we will discuss if n is even. Okay. So if n is even, what will be the number of terms?
So n plus 1.
And it will be
Odd.
odd. When n is even, n plus 1 will be odd. If there is odd number like this 7, if we write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, cancel first last, second last, third last. So there is only one middlemost term D. If there are 7, so fourth term is the middlemost term, means 7 plus 1 by 2, that is 4. So if n plus 1 is odd, so we will add one more to this odd number, so it becomes n plus 2. Then we divide it by 2 to get the middlemost term. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So there will be only one middle term, which is obtained by, which is given by t. Now we know that n plus 1 is odd. So if we add one more to this, it becomes n plus 2 by 2. That is t n by 2 plus 1. Now if we compare it with tr plus 1 equals to ncr into x to the power n minus r into a to the power r. So in place of r, it is n by 2 only. So we can also write nc n by 2 into x to the power n minus r n by 2, that is a to the power r, a to the power n by 2. That is nc n by 2 into x to the power n by 2 into a to the power n by 2. So the middlemost term is only one, which is given by nc n by 2 into x to the power n by 2 into a to the power n by 2. So now we will discuss an example also to solve these types of questions. So first write this theory in your notebook. For example, if we discuss the question x minus 1 by x whole to the power 10, how to find its middle term? For this, n equals to 10, which is even. So number of terms will be,
11.
yes, 10 plus 1, 11. So the middle term will be t 11
6.
plus 1 upon 2, that is t 12 by 2, that is t6. Sixth term will be the middlemost term. And how we find the sixth term? By writing it t plus 1 and then comparing it with tr plus 1 equals to ncr x to the power n minus r into a to the power r in expansion of x plus a whole to the power n. So in place of r, it is 5. So we write, and in place of n, it is 10. So we write 10 c 5 into x. In place of x, there will be x only. Whole to the power n minus r means 10 minus 5 into a. So value of a is minus 1 by x whole to the power r. R is 5 again. So 10c5. So we write it factorial 10 upon factorial 5 into factorial 5 using the formula NCR equals to factorial n upon factorial r into factorial n minus r. So x to the power 5 into, now power is odd, so there will be minus 1 to the power 5 minus 1 over x to the power 5. These x to the power 5 will be cancelled out. Now the sign will be written first of all, so minus, and factorial 10 is expanded. 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6. Factorial 5 will be cancelled out. Then 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So minus, if you want to cancel the terms, so first write it again and try to solve it yourself without using the calculator. 3 to the 6 will be cancelled out. 5 to the 10 will be cancelled out. 2 to the 4 will be cancelled out. 2 4 the 8. So 9 4 the 36, 7 the 252. That is minus 252 will be the answer. Is that question 5? We have to find the middle term in 1 plus x whole to the power 2n. So 2n is even or odd?
So even.
2n is even. Okay. So what will be the middlemost term? We know that. First we write the number of terms. Always write the number of terms first. Okay. So it will be 2n plus 1. That is number of terms will be odd. So how many middle will be there if the number of terms is odd? How many middle
So
terms?
one.
There will be only one middle term, which is given by first change this to even, then only we can divide it by 2. Na? So how will you change it to even? Add 1 to this over 2. Clearly it is 2n plus 2 upon 2. Now if we take 2 common from this 2 will be cancelled out. So it is tn plus 1. Now if we use the formula for general term, that is rth term, it is tr plus 1 equals to ncr into x to the power n minus r into a to the power n r in the expansion of x plus a whole to the power n. So in place of n, it has 2n. So 2n in place of n, and r is n into. In place of a, it is x. In place of x, it is 1. So 1 to the power 2n minus n into a to the power r. Now value of a is x. So x to the power r, value of r is n. So it is 2n cn into x to the power n. Is that clear to you? Okay. So we will further solve it, though in books this is the answer given, 2n cn into x to the power n. So how to solve it further? For this we will use the property of NCR. We know that NCR equals to factorial n upon factorial r into factorial n minus r. So 2n cn is factorial 2n upon factorial n into factorial n minus r. In place of r, it is n, x to the power n. Okay. So it is factorial 2n upon factorial n into factorial n into x to the power n. So on further simplifying it, factorial 2n means 2n into 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 2 into 2n minus 3 into, wait, into 2n minus 4, and so on up to last terms are 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. We know that factorial means product of all the terms reduced 1 by 1. Now this factorial n is again written as factorial n, and denominator there are 2 factorial n, and x to the power n is there. Is that clear to you, everyone? Middle term, when 2n is even, number of terms will be 2n plus 1, which is what? So how to find the middle term? This we have already discussed. First we change it to even. To change it to even, we have to add 1 to this 2n plus 1. So it becomes 2n plus 1 plus 1 upon 2, that is 2n plus 2 upon 2. When we take 2 common from this, 2 will be cancelled out. So it is tn plus 1. That is tr plus 1 is ncr x to the power n minus r into f to a to the power r. So if we compare it with x plus a whole to the power n, there is 2n in place of n. So we write 2n. In place of r, we have to find the r, nth term, 2n cn into, in place of x, it has 1 to the power n minus r, that is 2n minus n, into a to the power n with x to the power n. So 2n cn x to the power n. So we further will simplify this NCR using NCR factorial n upon factorial r into factorial n star. So it is factorial 2n over factorial n into factorial 2n minus n into x to the power n over factorial 2n upon factorial n into factorial n into x to the power n. 2n minus n is factorial n. Now expand this 2n. 2n into 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 2 into 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 4 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 1 over factorial into factorial into x to the power n using the property of factorial. Now we will write the alternate terms which are even. Look at this. All these terms are even. So first is 2n, next is 2n minus 2, next is 2n minus 4 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3. Sorry, we are writing only the even terms. So we will leave the odd. 2n is even, 2n minus 2 is even, 2n minus 4. We are writing the alternate term. 6. After 6, we will write 4. After 4, we will write 2. And draw another bracket and write the remaining terms, this odd terms. So first one is 2n minus 1. After this, 2n
2n minus 2.
and so on up to 5 into 3 into 1 over factorial n into factorial n into x to the power n. Now this is 2n. And if we take 2 common from this second bracket, 2 into n minus 1. Again 2 common from the third bracket, 2 into n minus 2. And so on up to 2 common from this 6 also, means it is 2 into 3. Then from this 4 also, so it is 2 into 2 into 2 into 1. Why we are doing so, we will discuss this in next step. 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 3 and so on up to 5 into 3 into 1 over denominator is factorial n. Do you know the expansion of factorial n? If we remove all these two, it gives n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into 3 into 2 into 1 is factorial n. Is that clear to you? So how
Yes.
2 into 2, 2 square. So look at this. These twos. 2 into 2, 2 square into 2, 2 cube into 2 and so on up to all the 2's. So there will be 2 n's now. So it will, their product will be 2 to the power n. Is that clear to you? If you multiply
Yes, sir.
this 2 square, if you multiply 3 2's, it is 2 cube. If you multiply n 2's, it will be 2 to the power n. There is gap in between. So don't think that this is the fourth 2 only. This is actually nth n minus 1th means n minus 2th 2. Okay. So it is then 2 to the power n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 and so on up to 3 into 2 into 1 over factorial n into factorial n into 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 3, 5 into 3 into 1 into x to the power n. So inside this bracket there is a factorial n and denominator also has factorial n. So that factorial n will be cancelled out. So we are left with these terms, odd terms, product of these odd terms only. Is that clear to you? Over factorial n into x to the power. So this will be the middlemost term. If we expand it till its last simplified form. Otherwise, this can also be the answer. This can also be the answer. Depending on the options given to you. Last is 2 to the power n upon factorial n into 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, n minus 5 till 531 into x to the power n. Is that clear? Question number, one more question. In the expansion of 1 plus x whole to the power 11 The fifth term is given that fifth term is equal to 24 times the third term. Means this is done by the formula of r plus 1 at term, which is NCR into x to the power n minus r into a to the power r in the expansion of x plus a whole to the power n. And I have discussed one more formula for 1 plus x whole to the power n. dr plus 1 is given by NCR into, directly it is written as x to the power r. This can be proved also by using this. If in place of x you write 1, it is 8, 1 to the power n minus r, which is 1. In place of 8 is x, so x to the power r only. So it is NCR x to the power r. Is that clear to you? So we will not require this formula if there is form of 1 plus x whole to the power n. Is that clear to you? This is not related to middle term. This is related to general term only. Now T5 means T 4 plus 1. So it is n. In place of n, 11 is there. X to the power 4. Value of r is 4. So we write 11C4. X to the power 4 equals to 24 into T3. T3 is T2 plus 1, that is 11C2 into x square. It implies now 11C4 is factorial 11 upon factorial 4 into factorial 11 minus 4 is factorial 7 into x to the power 4 equals to 24 into factorial 11 upon factorial 2 into factorial 11 minus 2 into x square. Now one of the x square will be cancelled out, so it remains only x square. Factorial 11 will also be cancelled out, so it is 1. 24 to 1. This factorial 4 is written as 4 into 3. Remaining factorial 2 will be cancelled out. Then factorial 2 is already cancelled out. Done. So this factorial 9 is written as 9 into 8 into this factorial 7 will also be cancelled out. X square out. Everything has been cancelled out. So x square equals to, transfer this 4 into 3 in the numerator. Denominator is 9 into 8. So simplify this. Write it once more before cancelling. 3 3s are 9. 4 2s are 8. 3 8s are 24. 2 4s are 8. So it is 4. So if x square equals to 4, it means x equals to plus minus 2. Which is the answer in 1 plus x whole to the power 11. It is given that fifth term is 24 times the third term. Now, if you have any doubt understanding this term, so I am explaining it again how we have cancelled it in both sides. Look at this. This is factorial 11 upon factorial 4 is written as 4 into 3 into factorial 2. We know that 2 into 1 will be the next term. And factorial 7, write it as it is, x to the power 4. Again 24 into factorial 11 upon factorial 2 will be cancelled out. Now expand this 9, factorial 9 as 9 into 8 into factorial 7 into x square. Now look at this. This becomes x square. Factorial 11 cancelled out. Factorial 2 cancelled out. Factorial 7 cancelled out. So x square will be, now the remaining term 1 upon 4 into 3 into x square equals to 24 upon 9 by 8. Is that clear to you now? This we have solved in next line. So x equals to plus minus 2 will be the answer. Is that clear to you? If you have next doubt, is there any other doubt?